things I love about canning is having those really delicious things that I like to make, which is preserves and jellies and butters and then I just have them ready. I can give them as gifts, and it's a great way of giving something really special, I think, because there's less of that happening as there was, you know, when my grandparents were raising their families. Everybody canned, and you know, so when it happens now and you're able to give someone something that came from your yard or your kitchen or your home, I think it's super special. And I love being able to, someone stops by, we have a conversation. I still have some jelly on my pantry shelf that I made, and I can give it, hey, why don't you take this home, have some jelly. I love being able to do that. So getting to can is a really special treat for me. Today we're canning preserves, and we're canning peach preserves. I love peaches. There's nothing that says summer like a peach, and so I love to be able to pull that in, keep that throughout the year, be able to put it on some toast or a waffle or something in the morning and just still be able to taste that summer freshness. So we're about to can the peaches, so I'll show you those steps as we go along. Fill our jars, and I have sterilized them. I washed them good in hot soapy water, then put them on a cookie sheet and in the oven for about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer, at 325 degrees, but you could go as high as 350. So the jars are nice and hot. My lids are sitting in water that's been boiled. My rings have also are seeing that hot water. And this funnel is just a great funnel to work with when you're canning. It keeps your actual rim from getting too messy. And I always stop when the stuff comes right to the bottom of that. The bottom of the funnel. Then I'm going to just take a little bit of really hot water, clean off that rim. We want that rim to be nice and free of any kind of juice or, you know, debris, so that the lid that has that rubber edge will seal nicely. I'm using this really nice magnetic tool. It works really well because everything I'm working with is very hot. So using that magnetic tool is just really great. It keeps you from getting burned. Now you want to get the ring on well so that it holds it in place, because after we're done with all of the pudding, the jelly, or the preserves in its jar, it's going to be in a hot water bath for 10 minutes. So, and it's going to go over the top of the lid. so that really seals tightly. And there we have, that is enough for that one. Again, I'm gonna just double check that rim, keep it nice and clean. And then get the lid and the ring on. You can use the rings over and over. Those will work many, many times. The lids only work once. You cannot reseal one of those lids. You can only do it that one time. So, you'll have to buy new every time. You can reuse the jars, you can reuse the rings, but you can only use those lids once. So when you're done with a jar of jelly or jam or pickles or whatever it is you're deciding to can, that lid has to go. One more, and then I'll show you when I have them in there. Yeah, that's it. When I have them in their water bath. So I have all my jars ready to go into their hot water bath. And if you can tell, like right here, you can tell the lid is pressed up a little bit. It's up. And this process, after they come out, that should suction that down, and that's how you tell if it's sealed. You can see how this one, it's raised in the center. When we're all done with this, those raised little circles right there should be pulled down and fitting tightly, and then we know it's sealed. So I've lowered the jars into the water so they're covered with the water. I'm gonna put the lid on it. It's gonna have a 10-minute water bath. That should be enough to seal it. Then I have 3 more to put in. So then I'll have something like 10 jars of jam in varying sizes. Done. So these came out of their water bath last night, and I've just been letting them sit, although within minutes they started to seal, and you can always hear them sealing because they make a little pop, a little noise as they're sealing. So that is like music to a canner's ears when they're taking the jars out of the water bath, and I can hear that pop, 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 pop. So within minutes, all of these were sealed, and you can tell there's not that raised bump here in the center. And they just spent 10 minutes in a hot water, boiling water bath. Made sure the water came over the top of the seal, and as they were coming out, they popped, and now I have these gorgeous, I mean, just look at the color. I just love the color. I've just bottled up some summer. I had a little left over, so this will just be in the refrigerator, but it won't be a problem. That'll get eaten quite quickly. So this is the beginning of the 2020 canning season for Grandma Sheri.